Now at 6, the government remains shut down for another day. This morning, we'll take a closer look at the shutdown's impact on health care in the state, as well as the impact it's having on National Guard troops being deployed without pay. The latest coming up in just a few minutes from now. But first, good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. I'm Glenn Kittle. It's set to be a great weekend out there weather-wise. We're going to start things off with meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli with a look at the forecast. Rachel, set to be a pretty gorgeous one out there for the next couple days.
It's going to be hard to find something wrong with this weekend unless you're really hoping for the taste of fall, because the weekend's going to feel a little bit more like summertime. In the meantime, today we have high pressure anchored over our area, and that's ushering in a little bit more warmth, but also some tranquil stuff too. But for warmth this afternoon, this morning it's pretty chilly. 45 degrees over in Hartford right now. Our winds are out of the south to southeast around 3 miles per hour. Elsewhere across the state, it's 41 in Torrington, 50 degrees in Bridgeport, and we're sitting in the upper 30s towards Norwich and also in Willimantic. Good morning to you. Our wind speeds are quiet and they will remain that way throughout the day. So out the door this morning, temperatures are in the 40s. Some of us waking up in the upper 30s. By this afternoon, we'll get up to around 58 degrees late morning, and then by noontime around 66 eventually. Our numbers around 70 to about 73 degrees. So it is a sunny and milder day. 72 in Naugatuck, 73 today, high temperature in Bristol, 74 in Hartford, southeastern Connecticut in the upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. Next couple of days, though, as I mentioned, it's going to feel a little bit more like summer. So you'll see on Saturday, it's a cool start to our morning. By the afternoon, we're back up to around 80 to about 82 degrees. So you can either go to the fairs this weekend, pumpkin picking, apple picking, or you can go to the beach. 82 on Saturday, 84 on Sunday with a lot of sun around. We'll talk about where we go from here, how long this warmth lasts, coming up in just a bit. As we check in with the roads this morning here at about 6:02. We are following road work across parts of the state this morning. So you can see here over in New Haven now, lots of cones along the Meriden area on Route 15 as well as through the capital city. Hartford drive times, though, Windsor to the 84 interchange are around 3 minutes. New Britain Ave to the Hartford Tunnel is 5. And Glastonbury to the Founders Bridge along Route 2 is a nice 6-minute drive. Glenn.
Rachel, thank you. It's day 3 of the government shutdown, and we have team coverage this morning. Fox 61's Kayla Cade is in Hartford to see what impacts there will be on health care there and what state congressional members are doing about it. But first, Fox 61's Joe Monty is in East Granby as Connecticut troops are being deployed to the Middle East in support of Operation Shield. There will be some time carrying out the goals for the United States in the region. He has more information on what's going on there at Bradley Air National Guard Base. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Glenn. That's right. Connecticut National Guard troops are being deployed to the Middle East this morning. They're going to several different countries in the region, and they're going to be providing security for Central Command both in the air and on the ground. This morning, a little after 8 o'clock, Governor Ned Lamont, alongside General Francis J. Evan Jr., will greet the troops from the 1st Battalion of the 102nd Infantry Regiment. The troops are being deployed this morning for 1 year in places like Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Syria, Jordan, and other locations. These troops are supporting Operation Spartan Shield, which was created to strengthen American partnerships with Middle Eastern and Southwest Asian countries. Soldiers will be responsible for providing entry control point security and security against unmanned aircraft systems. Again, these Connecticut National Guard troops are being deployed to the Middle East for a year. It is worth noting that this deployment is happening during a government shutdown, so these troops won't be paid. But we are going to try to bring you that deployment a little after 8 o'clock live here on Fox 61. For now, in East Granby, Joe Monty, Fox 61.
Joe, thank you for that report. State and healthcare leaders will be meeting this morning to discuss the urgent need for Congress to maintain long-standing Affordable Care Act tax credits in a government funding bill. Fox 61's Kayla Cade is live in Hartford with what you need to know and how it can affect you. Good morning, Kayla.
Good morning, Glenn. This month, more than 142,000 people who live in Connecticut are estimated to see their health care costs skyrocket. And that's according to Kaiser Family Foundation. They say it's due to the expiration of Affordable Care Act tax credits, one of the government programs affected by President Trump's mega bill passed this summer. Democrats are wanting to reverse the Medicaid cuts and extend tax credits that make health insurance premiums more affordable for millions under the Affordable Care Act. However, Republicans want to fund the government at current level through October 21st. If Affordable Care Act tax credits expire, the Kaiser Family Foundation says a couple in their early 60s in Hartford County with an annual income of $85,000 will see their premium increase by $25,103 a year. A family of 4 in New Haven County with an annual income of $130,000 will see their premium increase by $12,992 a year. Connecticut congressional delegation are fighting to prevent this from happening by maintaining the tax credits. Again, state and healthcare leaders will meet this morning at 9:30 to discuss more about this issue. Live in Hartford, Kayla Cade, Fox 61.
Kayla, thank you. The ongoing shutdown threatens national security, food stamps, and federal jobs, and many people in Connecticut are concerned about the future as the country waits for things to reopen again. Local food banks say they've been seeing more people come through nowadays, and they're worried about having the ability to continue to help. About 10% of those living in Connecticut, or more than 366,000 people, depend on SNAP benefits. Governor Ned Lamont says benefits are covered this month, but the question is what happens if the shutdown drags on?
Probably going to have a special session between now and November 1st, and probably the later in the month, the more we will know.
Now, if you want to help local food banks, you can donate food or money to them. However, they prefer money so they can buy things at wholesale prices. And this latest federal government shutdown has raised more red flags than usual. While past closures caused minimal long-term damage, this one comes as the economy teeters and President Trump threatens permanent layoffs of federal workers. Roughly 750,000 employees could be affected, and economists warn a prolonged shutdown could slow growth and deepen job losses. Now political gridlock is worsening and key economic reports delayed. Experts say the U.S. economy is now walking a tightrope, and the fallout could be far from temporary. And we're taking a deeper dive into the shutdown and what it means for you, from the potential impact to air travel, food assistance programs, and government services to national parks and more. We'll have a reaction from around the country, plus expert insight. It's all streaming on our platform right now, and you can stream that content for free on FOX61 Plus. Now, a new state audit has uncovered several issues for the offices of the governor and lieutenant governor. Among the findings, there are improper use of state vehicles, missing or untracked inventory, and excess laptops, nearly 3 times more than needed. The audit also found timesheets were approved without proper verification of hours worked or employee locations. The report covers fiscal years 2023 and 24 and raised concerns over accountability and compliance at the highest levels of state government. And we now know the identities of the mother and son who died in a head-on collision this past Sunday. The crash happened on Davis Street near Rogers Road in Hamden. 40-year-old Brandy Lowry of New Haven and her 7-year-old son were taken to the hospital but died from their injuries. 2 other people were involved in the crash but had serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Right now, Hamden police say they're still investigating, and if you have any information that can help them, you're being asked to give them a call. Now, several construction projects in Wallingford are scheduled to begin in 2028, and the Connecticut Department of Transportation plans to replace 3 bridges on Durham Road, New Rock Hill Road, and East Center Street. The bridges carry traffic over I-91, and the DOT says structural deficiencies are the reason for the replacements. All 3 bridges were built about 65 years ago. The replacement of the 3 bridges is expected to cost between $60 and $80 million. The Department of Transportation anticipates using 80% federal funding and 20% state funding. Some who frequently drive in the area are excited.
It's nice to see some things being done and our town being, revived.
Now, the construction plans are currently still in the design phase. It's unknown if there will be a full or partial closure of the bridges during construction. However, the DOT says both the New Rock Hill and Durham bridges are not allowed to be closed at the same time. And Connecticut's Transportation Department is investing $10 million across several rural communities. The money will go towards upgrading sidewalks and making roads safer in 8 communities, including Marlborough, and that's where state leaders made yesterday's announcement. It's through the Transportation Rural Improvement Program, aka TRIP. Officials say TRIP is important because it ensures rural towns that often don't qualify for federal funds still get access to state dollars. The DOT commissioner says it also improves quality of life.
Until you are mobility impaired, until you're using a walker or a wheelchair or crutches, you don't often pay attention to that. Maybe you have strollers, and that's when you start to pay attention to it, when you have your kids in strollers. But until you encounter that, you don't think about it. It's critically important. Everything we do at DOT needs to be ADA accessible. And it's going to make a difference here in Marlborough.
The other towns receiving money are Barkhamsted, Bethlehem, Bolton, Burlington, Columbia, Goshen, and Litchfield. We have some good news for people that live in Waterbury. The boil water advisory is officially lifted. The city found out yesterday that all distribution samples collected from the water system Wednesday tested negative for the presence of any bacteria. Now, this comes after a water main break on Huntington Avenue broke last Tuesday. It caused a loss of water or discolored water for a number of people in the area. Officials say the city's water operations should be back to normal and people no longer need to boil water before using it. And the 2025 Connecticut Manufacturing Report is out, and it shows a mix of growth and challenges. 82% of manufacturers say they're struggling to find skilled workers, while 95% report rising business costs, mainly in labor, healthcare, and energy. Exports hit $17.4 billion, with most Connecticut exports going to Canada, Germany, and Mexico. AI adoption remains low at 27%, with most unsure how to implement it. Now, despite those hurdles, 70% of manufacturers stayed profitable. That's up from last year's projections.